Liverpool Fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool Fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai. Today we're going to talk about Viktor Gyokeres, right? Gyökeres in the Portuguese league, an absolute goal machine. Look at these statistics right here. 68 goals in 66 appearances. Even for commentary, the goals aren't so bad. 38 goals in 91 appearances. Why is Viktor Gyokeres not the first choice target for all the big teams worldwide? Arsenal seem to be heavily linked with him, but they're after Benjamin Sesko, probably as first choice. Chelsea should be linked with him. They signed Liam Delap as first choice, and now they're after Gyökeres, right, as the second striker in there. Man United should have been after Gyökeres number one. Liam Delap was their first choice as well, and they splashed the cash to sign Cunha, and now they're after Brian Mbeumo. What about Manchester City? Ryan Cherky seems to be the top lad there. Gyökeres, could he be a foil for Haaland? No, they have Omar Mamouche and Erling Haaland. Liverpool need a number 9, well noted. Maybe Darwin Núñez and Jota aren't quite Arne Slot's liking in terms of the number 1-9 slot. However, we're going to talk about that in a video coming up very soon. Why are they not after Viktor Gyokeres? When you look at Ornstein, when you look at Joyce, the names that come out on their list are Alexander Isak, Julian Alvarez, Benjamin Sesko, Hugo Ekitike. Why is Viktor Gyokeres not in that list as well? You know what? So many of my fans in the comments as well asked me why Liverpool aren't targeting him and that they should be targeting him. So the numbers don't lie. He is a goal machine, but there's a few caveats to his goals, and we're going to look at them very, very closely, right? So I've picked up some statistics. 35 goals in 52 games, 35 non-penalty goals I'm talking about, because he's scored an abundant amount of penalties. It must have been like 20 penalties there or thereabouts. But when you look at the 35 non-penalty goals, 5 of them were against Boa Vista, 3 of them versus Estrela Amadora, 4 versus Vitoria. Is he a flat track bully for the small teams against the lesser teams who can't defend against his hulking, absolute Ailton Dortmund-like barrel-chested, roll 'em, line 'em, rock 'em, sock 'em robots, demolish bulldozer type style? And he really is a bulldozer type, because if you look at the highlights, he always looks at his feet. He always looks at the ball. He doesn't need to look at the goal. He knows where the goal is, but he's twisting and turning and jinking. He doesn't have awareness of the game around him, so he won't be getting so many assists in a congested area. He won't have so much time as well. When you're up against a low block in the Premier League, he's going to find it very, very difficult to break through the likes of a Levi Colwill, a Romeo Lavia, a Caicedo +1 in that defense. That ability to work your way out of the offside trap, because they will be pressing in the middle thirds in a low block. He's going to find it very hard to get out of it if he's not got the awareness around him, because he looks at his feet, tries to dribble his way out of trouble. The system has to be funneling through all the balls to him in prominent goal scoring positions, because if you were frustrated by Darwin Núñez's lack of conversion, Gyökeres needs a fantastic amount of quality balls played into him in order to convert, because he has huge volumes of shots, but predominantly he will always be the main shot taker. So then you're looking at Salah being the primary assister, Wirtz being the primary assister, Gakpo or Lucho Diaz being an assister. Now, Gakpo can float one to the back post or scuttle one across. Lucho Diaz isn't the best at vision and being a predominant assister as well. He plays between the lines. Mo Salah can do it, but you're taking away from his goal scoring ability. And Wirtz running through the lines as well. Well, he's ultimate. Wirtz can do everything. So maybe Gyökeres can survive in that instance. So very interesting that Gyökeres is available and not many teams seem to put him first choice. And I think there's a big clue in this particular clip why Man United and Chelsea and even Newcastle prioritize Liam Delap, right? In the Premier League proven, cheap, with the release clause of 30 million over Viktor Gyokeres, goal machine in the Portugal League. Look at this clip right here. Trevor Chalobah got roasted, baby. The opposition were like, look, if he can do this to Trevor Chalobah, he can do it to everyone in the Premier League. And they're like, oh no, we can't have Chalobah getting roasted. We got to sign him so he doesn't do that to us again. Liam Delap's the one, baby. Look at him absolutely destroy Chalobah. But all cold half-truths aside, we're going for younger strikers. Everyone wants to get the next generation striker, get them used to the system, build them up. They don't have to be in the firing line straight away. Look what happened to Rasmus Højlund. Good at Atalanta under Gasperini, but absolutely sinking without a paddle at Man United. Once again, giving the grievances to Man United, who are bottom of the ocean right now. Oh dear. And number 20 league title for Liverpool. the gap is it's only going to go one way, right? Florian, Wirtz, Kerkez, and Frimpong. Anyway, yes, all truths aside, thank you to everybody who subscribed already. This is a channel Substance in Abundance.
The cream of the crop!
Juicy, 69% of you have subscribed and watched the videos week in, week out, but that means 31% of you watch and haven't subscribed yet. What are you waiting for? Smash the subscribe button right now, like, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts on Viktor Gyokeres. But yeah, in all seriousness, all teams are going for that next generation striker. Hugo Ekitike, Benjamin Sesko, Liam Delap, for example. All of them are, what, 21, 22, 23 years old, there or thereabouts, 24 years old, coming into their prime. Julian Alvarez as well. Even Alexander Isak, still very, very young. He is the Swedish striking partner of Gyökeres in the national team. But there's a big price to pay because Viktor Gyokeres at 27 years old, right? 60 million, 50, 60 million pounds, 70 million pounds, thereabouts. There's no real confidence in his ability to convert his goal scoring form into the Premier League, into the system where he has to plug away, work the gaps, drop deep, go into the channels, press from the front. Now, his work rate is immense, but he's not the most skillful, and he's got good acceleration, but he's not the most pacey, and he's got good shot variety, but he hasn't got vision and awareness, and he's not the most clinical. He misses a lot of chances. He needs a lot of chances funneled through him. We're going to look at the tactics board. If Liverpool were to sign him, what Liverpool would have to do to facilitate a Viktor Gyokeres and cover for his weaknesses, even though he's got very, very good strengths as well. Look, you can't aim at him that he doesn't score in big matches. Now, he doesn't always score in the big matches, and sometimes he goes missing. But in 15 career games against Porto and Benfica, he's got 7 assists and 9 goals, right? So that's quite good because they're usually quite tight affairs, quite tight games as well, and he can make the difference. He can even win a Sporting a league in Ruben Amorim's system, which is more free-flowing, right? A 3-4-3 kind of system. He had more of an impact, but even now that the system is less fluid, he still contributes. He's still an impact on the game. But once again, it's against inferior opposition at an inferior league. And why would you take the gamble when there's players with attributes? And it's more about attributes rather than past credentials. Because his goal scoring form is shown in a Sporting team designed to make the most out of him and in that league at that given time. There's no proof that he'll convert it in the Premier League in a system. So I think clubs are wary about that, wary about paying so much for a player who at 27 years old, probably you're going to get 1 or 2 years of his prime before he starts to decline as well. And the fact he's not the most skillful and he doesn't play with his head up and he hasn't got the most vision, I don't know. It's kind of, he's like the most top tier version of Milan Baros playing with. Do you remember Milan Baros? Milan Istanbul. Obviously, the pullback to Gerrard to come in and so what was against Luis Garcia? He got clattered, right? He got clattered by, was it Peter Cech? And then Luis Garcia scored the ghost goal, the goal that sent us through against Jose Mourinho's Chelsea, right? So yeah, it's very questionable whether Gyökeres really is that attractive as a target. You look at the goals, you look at the numbers, headline striker, big names. Don't always believe the hype, always prefer the right type and what the data says. Attributes never go away. Form is temporary, class is permanent. And I don't know if Gyökeres has the skill, has the touch, has the vision and all-around game to really be so high up and prominent on people's transfer wish list, especially for the biggest teams. And the fact that a lot of teams have passed him by really speaks volumes. And the fact that Man United have to go back in for him is also questionable because of the fact that he's probably preferring them for the fact that his options aren't as widely vast as the media hype machine want you to believe. Now, let's look at what system Liverpool would need to employ to make the most out of Viktor Gyokeres, and let's do that right now. But before I do, I want to send a big thank you to Ahmed Shosha, right? Hopefully I've said that right. The latest member of the Liverpool Fan in Japan community. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You are Ichiban. You are the best right now. Enjoy the exclusive members content. I have done a comparison today why Liverpool went straight after Florian Wirtz instead of Ryan Cherki, who's going to end up at Manchester City, even though Arne Slot cut his holiday 2 weeks short to meet Ryan Cherki in person and explain to him the possibilities. As soon as Florian Wirtz made it aware that he'd be willing to leave Germany and his preference was for Liverpool, we went all out to sign a high caliber player, and I've explained in the member section why that is as well. Okay, so thank you, big thank you to Ahmed Shosha, Faisal for rejoining as well, Tanzi for joining, everyone for supporting the Liverpool Fan in Japan channel. You guys are the best right now. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Let's have a look how Arne Slot would deploy Viktor Gyokeres, because Arne Slot is the cream of the crop. He's a tactical genius, up the shiny one, and he could make the most out of Gyokeres as well. And he's a hard-working player, so in the press, he could be quite effective. But let's look at how we can potentially line up to make the most out of Gakpo. Yeah. Oh dear, what happened there? The Mac attack, Mac 10. Okay, this is looking tasty. Every time I type in Wirtz's name in here, I just get so emotional. It's really, really nice. I'm going to put Bradley in for this example just because he deserves a shout out. He could be first choice starting the season, by the way. Frimpong might have to bide his time just for a little bit, but Milos Kerkez comes straight in, and Alisson Becker. Okay, here we go. So, Gyökeres, he runs between lines. We need to facilitate Gyökeres to allow him to run into these spaces, sliding him through. Now, Darwin Núñez is also very, very prominent in those areas if you have a Florian Wirtz closer to him, which means we have to work the ball to Wirtz. Two at the base, playing the balls through. What you imagine is we have the box system here, the box system to keep the opposition out. Kerkez in the line there, and Bradley in the line there. Now, Bradley, on occasion, has actually allowed Kostas Tsimikas to drive up from the left-back position into that kind of roaming role there. So it's very, very interesting that Bradley has sacrificed his game to be the third opposition. But when he goes forward, when he drives forwards, he runs into this channel, which feeds Salah from out wide. Konate gets the ball there. Salah looks for Bradley in there, gives the 1-2, give and go, off you go. But Bradley now has the opportunity to play the through ball into Gyökeres or play the smart ball into Wirtz. If Gyökeres makes a dummy run, that can be effective for Wirtz to go in. And hey, this is now a video about Wirtz because Wirtz is dominating, and wow, he can absolutely destroy, cause havoc and menace as well. But on the flip side, he can also thread a through ball to Gyökeres, who can get into it, or he can play the ball over to Gakpo. Now Gyökeres is already in position for Gakpo's either run down the line and loft to the back post, in which case Gyökeres is a beast, is a tank at attacking the back post as well, or cutting inside if a Kerkez is overlapping to loft the ball to back post. And once again, Gyökeres could go down for the knockdown, or if he's got a prominent shot on target in beating the man, he can go for himself. But more likely, a knockdown to Wirtz or Bradley or Salah. Could be either one or on the edge of the area. Salah obviously with a curling shot or pile driver into the front post, or Bradley as well, making the most of his opportunity there. So good plays in to Gyökeres, making the most of his tank-like capabilities and hustling abilities. Or Gakpo, instead of delivering it, could do the blind ball to Kerkez, who drills it in which case Gyökeres is good at getting across the front man and bundling it home, or whipped cross, in which case it could be a header, or it could be a pinged header, or back where it comes from as well. Gyökeres is a box player, and he'd be most effective in the box, because out in this kind of range, in the Premier League, as I mentioned, he'll get lost in amongst the shuffle in a low block, and I don't think that's where he's most effective. So you're going to be setting up a system to recycle the ball, to get the ball into Gyökeres in the most prominent positions, because he has to operate in a box. For him to get a shot away, you have to feed him in the peripheries of the goal, within the goalpost, so he can work his angles for the shot. He's a little bit Craig Bellamy-esque in his running, a little bit Milan Baros-esque in his play as well, but obviously he's a better player than both. He's not as fast as Craig Bellamy, but he's kind of got that rolling thunder, stumbling, and by hook or by crook, he'll get the shot away, he'll whip in a shot, he'll bend the shot in. He's got all shot variety, so that's a plus to his name as well. But once again, the play has to be funneled through him, and you don't imagine that he's going to be so creative outside the box. And he's not that great a dribbler either. He can jink, he can cut left and right, but it's not really his game. So what leads well to Gyökeres potentially being a start is if you play more narrow. In which case this would probably be Luis Diaz, and this could be Bradley, but Frimpong is immense in that kind of role. And you offer them the whips, right? You offer them the whips to go and play. Then you imagine Gravenberch, Maka, and Luis Diaz in this kind of role, and Wirtz and Salah. This is kind of the Christmas tree, the Milan Christmas tree formation with Pirlo, Gattuso, Seedorf, and Ricky Kaká. A striker, whether it's Shevchenko or Crespo, trying to field it through to Filippo Inzaghi. Now, we've got bad memories of Inzaghi, but pure goal scorer, right? Similar ilk to Gyökeres, although Inzaghi lives offside. So when you play this kind of formation, you offer the whips to Frimpong and to Kerkez, in which case the triangles all exist. Luis Diaz roams to cause havoc, tries to play Salah across peripheries. Salah could look to play Frimpong in, he could look to play Gyökeres in the through ball, or he could look to play Kerkez on the whips as well, or Wirtz as the ultimate playmaker. If it's Wirtz, you imagine his instinctual understanding of Frimpong gets him around the outside, and in this space here, when Frimpong pulls it back, wow, Gyökeres would eat those chances. But then again, so would Darwin Núñez. So we're going to make a dedicated video on how Darwin Núñez could have a new lease of life with Frimpong and with Florian Wirtz and with Kerkez as well in the system. But ultimately, Gyökeres has to be funneled the ball through and through, which means that you're going to imagine Salah probably takes less shots unless you use Gyökeres as a dummy runner, in which case he's going to suffer from the Darwin Núñez effect this season and last season, in the way that Salah is the main man and you play the whole game to get Salah in a position to play make across to Gakpo or Luis Diaz, to thread the ball through, to thread the ball through, to dribble himself, to take a shot, or to play make from there. Trivela is a nice one, by the way. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Smash a like if it was useful for you. Once again, comment below. It really helps the YouTube algorithm to pick up this channel and videos and get it shown to the masses and the Reds worldwide. Liverpool Fan in Japan community is the best right now, and I tell you what else is the best. Liverpool Echo actually reached out to me and did an exclusive interview with me to highlight my fundraising attempts to get a ticket for the Liverpool versus Yokohama game. Once again, thank you to Soccer Atos for providing the Liverpool windbreaker, the Japan official shirt last season in the Olympics, I believe, and the Y3 Japan national kit as well. The top donee can choose one of the kits as well as one of these lovely plush Mario related toys as well. Magic Koopa, Koopa Trooper, and Kid Bowser Jr. as well. And for one random donee as well, I'll pick your name out of the hat. You can choose one of those kits as well, and a toy and Japanese snacks. Thank you so much for everyone for supporting me in my endeavors to see my hero Legendo, Wataru Endo, the new signings Kerkez, Frimpong, Wirtz, could it be Gyökeres, Viktor Gyokeres as well? Who knows? Yet to be seen. But they will be playing seriously because the end of July is the friendly and the season is right upon us in August. So they're going to give it everything they got, as Arne Slot will attempt to win it all, baby. Because in the Battle of the Bolds, we struck gold, and you guys are gold as well. Hearts of gold. Thank you for your generosity. Have a great day, everyone. Miyazaki-man, Ichiban. It means the best. Jane means ciao.